nearly every good comedian has good timing. They couldn't be good without it. Burns has great timing. Ed Wynn had the greatest. Gracie Allen had probably the greatest. She was the great of all time when it came to timing. You have to have real good timing or you can't exist as a comedian.
The Federalists had us outnumbered. They killed my workers and took the mine. I had to flee into the hills for my life. After wandering for days, I stumbled exhausted into a camp of insurrectos. At first they were suspicious, but finally one of them came over and shook my hand.
You want to shake hands?
Si.
Then I consider you my friend?
Si.
You will always help me?
Si.
Then, to my surprise, he walked away. I turned to go. Someone pulled at my sleeve.
Oh, Senor Irish, Senor Irish.
What is it?
Before you leave, I would like you to meet my little 6-year-old son, Tomas.
Oh, hello, Tomas.
Tomas, he is learning to be a magician. He does a wonderful act on the stage with his sister.
Really? So you're a magician, eh, Tomas?
Si.
Do you have an act?
Si.
With your sister?
Si.
What is your sister's name?
Sue.
Sue?
Si.
Well, what do you do in your act?
Saw.
What do you saw?
Sue.
Sue?
Si.
Now, wait a minute. Somebody put you up to this. Who was it?
Me.
You?
Si.
Who are you?
Sign.
Side?
Si.
I quit a big show, Earl Carroll's Vanities. I had about 20 weeks to go, and I was making, $1,500 or $1,700 a week, even then, before radio. And that was a lot of money. And I realized that the coming thing now was radio, and I better get into it. And I went to Earl Carroll, Carroll's Vanities, and I asked for a release. He finally gave it to me. And I showed him why he could. I said, you're going to play some small towns now. We've played New York and the big city. You really don't need me. You'll save $1,500 a week, and I'll try to get on radio. Well, then I went back, played a few theaters, and there wasn't much vaudeville left. As you know, it kept dying out, because I used to play here at the Orpheum years and years and years ago. And finally, I went on Ed Sullivan. We were friends, and I went on Ed Sullivan's news show. And he did this thing, and he says, come on, be a guest. I said, what do we do? Oh, he said, we'll prepare something. So I got on his show, and the agency for Canada Dry Ginger Ale heard me. And they gave me a job right away. I work because I enjoy working. Excuse me. I work because I like it. What would I do, let's say, if I didn't work? Now, that doesn't mean that I have to work quite as much as I do. I'm going to try to cut down a little bit because I have a beautiful home in Palm Springs and I should spend more time there, taking a little holiday and a vacation.
Ah, gee, Mary, it was awfully nice of you to drive me down to the station.
Oh, that's all right, Jack. I wanted to see you off.
Yeah, well, let's go in.
Train leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
You know, Jack, there's something fascinating about a railroad station. So many people going so many places.
Yeah. Mary, I'm going over to the newsstand to get a magazine. You wait for me here.
Okay.
Attention, please, attention. Train leaving on track 1 for Baltimore, Red, Washington. It's leaving now, so you better run.
Let's see. I think the newsstand is over by the...
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Well, Mr. Kitzel!
Mr. Benny, what are you doing by the railroad station?
Well, I'm going to Houston, Texas.
Well, put her there, partner. That's where I'm a-heading.
Well, Mr. Kitzel, I'll probably see you down there. I'll be at the Shamrock Hotel.
Shamrock. My, that's a wonderful name for a hotel. It brings a lump in my throat.
It does?
Yes, I haven't seen a shamrock since I left the old country.
Well, so long, Mr. Kitzel. See you in Texas.
Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yo, Ghost Riders.
Well, I better go over and get that magazine before the train leaves.
Attention, please, attention. Train leaving on track 3, all the way to Schenectady. Just one stop at Kansas City.
Yeah, I gotta get a newspaper, too. I want to see if they have anything in it about
Jack, what time does your train leave?
I don't know. It's not on the hit parade yet.
What?
Nothing.
Attention, please, attention. Train leaving on track 2 for Asheville, Nashville, Kalamazoo takes on water at Waterloo.
Mary, I'm going to stop at the magazine.
Watch it, Sam.
Mind my suitcase, Mary. I'll be right back. Now, let's see. There's so many magazines here, I don't know which one to get. Oh, Mister. Why do I always have to run into him? Now, look, mister, all I want to do is buy a magazine.
Okay. Do you want to read it or tear it in half to show me how strong you are?
I want to read it, and I'll take this one here.
Well, house and garden, aren't you lucky?
What?
Today only, with every copy, we give away a pocket full of fertilizer.
Now, look, clerk, I can't stand here all day. I'll take this magazine here, this copy of the Saturday Evening Post.
Yes, sir. That'll be 15 cents.
Here you are.
You want it gift-wrapped, I suppose.
Oh, quiet. You burn me up, you stupid jerk.
When you come round, I go berserk.
Train now leaving for Albuquerque.
Now cut that
I'm very, very moody. Nobody would know it very much except maybe my wife. She could tell you how moody I am. But I can be so moody sometimes that I just feel miserable, and then 2 hours later feel like I'd never felt better in my life. Now, you wouldn't notice it unless you were with me all the time, you know.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we present our version of The Snows of Kilimanjaro, which starred Gregory Peck, Susan Hayward, and Ava Gardner. Our story opens in the African jungle, at the foot of the majestic snow-capped mountain, Kilimanjaro.
My name is Gregory Peck. I am a writer who came to hunt in Africa. As I lie here at death's door with the painful throbbing of my infected leg, my entire life has flashed before me. I can tell this is the end because as I look up at the hot African sky, I see 2 vultures circling over me. Oh, I've seen vultures before, but these 2 are carrying a bottle of ketchup. I was recommended to them by Duncan Hine. As my temperature rose, I felt a soft, cool hand on my forehead. It was my wife, Susan, tenderly stroking my fevered brow. And as I muttered and moaned in my delirium, she said,
"Cut out that blubbering, Mac." When is that medicine coming? When will the plane get here? When?
The plane didn't arrive with the medicine, and I got worse. So in desperation, Susan sent for a native witch doctor. The witch doctor came, and for the next 2 hours, he kept stuffing hot sand into my mouth. When my hat got too big for me, I realized he was shrinking my head. Fortunately, I stopped him in time. But to this day, I wear a size 2 3/8.
Oh, doctor, I'm in such pain.
Here, you take 'em these herbs. You come morning sun, you'll feel all better like me.
Oh, that's wonderful, doctor. How much do I owe you?
Nothing. Blue Cross.
The witch doctor left. And as the night wore on, my feverish mind was frightened by the sounds of the jungle. The roar of the lion. The cry of the wild boar. The frightened whinny of our horses. The wild chattering of the monkeys. The maniacal screech of the hyena. The terrifying sound of the crocodile. The terrifying sound of the crocodile. I knew if I kept trying, I'd find something that Mel Blanc couldn't do. The quietness of the long night was broken by the jungle sounds. I began to think of all the girls I had known. Constance Forsythe, Rosalind Winston, Valerie Fitzgerald. Then I began to think of the first girl I had ever really loved. It was in Spain. We went everywhere together, dancing, swimming. And finally, she took me to the bullfights. It was my first time at a bullfight, and I didn't know much about this Latin sport. But the traditional blare of trumpets, the first event got underway.
Look, here comes the bull.
Wow, he looks big.
Ooh, here comes a toreador.
Hey, dig that crazy steak knife.
Started, and though it horrified me, it was exciting. The toreador did well, and to show its appreciation, the crowd yelled and showered him with gifts. Maria took the rose out of her hair and threw it to him. I didn't have a rose, so I just threw him my hair. But when I threw it, my hair sailed out in a wide circle and landed back on my head. It was the toupee I had bought in Australia. Yes, my thoughts were all of Maria this time, until I felt a throbbing of my leg, and great waves of pain swept over me and washed me back into consciousness in my camp in Africa. Susan was still standing guard over me. She must have realized I had been dreaming of Maria, because she said,
"Wipe that smile off your face, Mac."
Oh, it's you, Susan. I must have been dreaming. Has the plane arrived yet with the medicine?
No, they were halfway across the Atlantic and they had to turn back for the peroxide.
For my leg?
No, for me. I wasn't born a blonde.
Susan's voice soothed me. And again I fell asleep. I forgot the pain of the present as I remembered the pleasures of the past. And it was at this point I remembered Ava. I first met Ava in Paris. Gay Paris. Ava had everything. Beauty, poise, and intelligence. But even though she was a society heiress, she insisted on earning her living by singing in a tiny French nightclub called the Bayou. I shall never forget the first time I heard her as she sang. When Ava finished singing, the crowd clamored for an encore. She sang Jambalaya till someone hit her in the eye with a crawfish pie. Son of a gun, we have big fun in the bayou. I asked Ava to marry me, but she turned me down, so I married Susan and came here to Africa. The pain in my leg now is unbearable. I'd almost given up hope when suddenly I heard a droning noise.
Look, Mac, it's a plane!
Susan was right. It was a mercy plane coming with supplies. But fate still mocked me. There was no place for the plane to land. As a last resort, the pilot swooped low over our camp and threw the medicine and peroxide out. We found the medicine and I got well, but the peroxide disappeared. So now Susan is a brunette. But somewhere in Africa, there are 200 blonde gorillas. This is the story of the snows of Kilimanjaro.
Supposing I had lost a lot of money, but I still had a lot of money. Well, then they'll say to you, well, why would you need more money? You're not going to eat anymore, you're not going to do this anymore. I say, no, but I'll tell you what I could do. Instead of giving $50,000 to a certain charity love, I could give $250,000. I could give $1 million to the Motion Picture Relief Fund. I could give so-and-so. This is where money comes in fine, if I'm willing to use it that way, and I am. All contrary to my image that I have built up in show business.
And now let's go out to Jack Benny's house in Beverly Hills. It's such a lovely morning that outside on the front lawn, we hear the splashing of birds in the bird bath. While upstairs, we hear the sound of the shower.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling that everything's going my way.
Rochester, I'm through showering. You can stop singing now.
Okay.
Say, Rochester, I don't know where you're buying soap lately, but that new bar I just used didn't lather at all.
I didn't know you took a new bar of soap. Did you get it out of the service closet?
No, I found it in the kitchen.
In the drawer?
No, on a dish near the drain board.
Well, congratulations, boys.
Why?
You have just showered with a peeled potato.
A peeled... Imagine showering with a peeled potato.
You now have the skin that lamb chops love to touch.
Never mind that. Here, take this towel and dry my back, will you please?
Yes.
Ah, that feels good. Now, Rochester, while I get dressed, how about fixing me some breakfast?
Yes, sir. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful... Oh, good morning, Polly.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. Ah, I've got a wonderful feeling that something is coming my way.
She had a feeling, all right. She laid an egg. Good girl, Polly. Come in. Come in. Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Oh, hello, Rochester.
Oh, good morning, Miss Livingston. Come right in.
You must be in a good mood. I heard you singing as you were coming to the door.
Oh, I always sing when it's getting close to my payday.
Why do you sing so long before payday?
There ain't much to sing about after.
I know what you mean.
Oh, good morning, Mary.
Hello, Jack. You know, it's so early, I thought you'd still be in bed.
In bed? Are you kidding? I've already taken my shower. Rochester, how about breakfast?
Coming up.
Mary, would you care for something to eat?
No, thanks. I'm not hungry.
You know, Mary, you look kind of cute this morning. You really do. How about a kiss?
Okay. That's funny.
What?
I just said I wasn't hungry, and now I've got a craving for potatoes.
Well, we've got the cleanest ones in town.
What?
Nothing. Rochester, just make my breakfast.
Wait a minute, Jack. What is Rochester talking about?
All right, I'll tell you. This morning when I was taking a shower, I thought I picked up a cake of soap, but it turned out to be a peeled potato. It could happen to anybody.
That couldn't happen to Gracie Allen.
All right. So I showered with a potato. What do you want me to do?
Kiss me, I'm hungry.
Never mind. Rochester, is breakfast ready?
I just put the coffee on. What else would you like?
Well, I'd like a little bacon and one fried EGG.
Yes, sir. A little bacon and one fried EGG.
Jack, what's the idea of the spelling? Why don't you just say you want a little bacon and one fried...
Don't say it, Mary. Don't say it. We always spell it. You know, Polly lays an EGG every day, and she'd go crazy if she ever found out we were eating them.
Oh.
EGG.
Isn't that cute?
EGG. Hey!
Polly, calm down. Rochester, no eggs. Fix me some pancakes.
Yes, sir.
Now, who can that be?
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mary. Is Mr. Benny in?
Yes, he's having breakfast.
Well, I'm sure glad he's here because I got plenty to tell him.
Dennis, what's the matter?
14 years this has been going on, and I've had all I can take. I've stood enough, believe me.
Well, Dennis, what is it?
I wouldn't mind if it was only once or twice, but every week, the same thing, week in and week out. After all, what does he take me for? I'm fed up, I tell you, fed up!
Well, Dennis, I don't know what's on your mind, but obviously you should talk to Mr. Benny.
Oh, I'll say I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna tell him off.
Well, come on, he's in the breakfast room.
Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Gee, you're looking well today.
Thanks, kid. What'd you come over for?
Oh, I just happened to be in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd drop in.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Dennis, what are you waiting for? Why don't you tell him off?
What are you trying to do, start something?
Yes, Mary, what's the matter with you?
What's the matter with me?
Yeah.
You've been mistreating Dennis and taking advantage of him for 14 years.
What?
And he's had enough of it. After all, what do you take him for?
Mary, what are you trying to do, make trouble or something?
That's telling her, Mr. Benny.
Now, wait a minute. Look, Dennis, I'm going to straighten this thing out right now. Didn't you come to the door and tell me that you were mad at Mr. Benny?
Uh-huh.
And didn't you tell me that you were fed up with the way he was treating you?
Uh-huh.
And didn't you say you were going to tell him plenty?
Uh-huh.
Then why is it when you walked up to Mr. Benny, you were so nice to him?
When I saw his long fingernails, I lost my nerve.
Stop being silly. Rochester, what was that?
The toast, it flew out the window.
Oh, my goodness. That piece of toast landed on the lawn, and it'll attract ants. I'll be right back. Now, let's see. It flew out through that window, so it should be right on the lawn. I don't see it. Maybe it flew out into the street. Funny, I don't see it around here either. There's the Coleman's garbage can. It hasn't got a lid on it. I wonder if the toast could have gone in there. Gee, I gotta find her. We'll be loaded with ants. There's several pieces of toast in here.
Jack.
Huh? Oh, hello, Bob. I was just looking for a piece of toast.
Well, Jack, why didn't you tell me that things were that rough? Why, I'd work for nothing.
Bob, you don't understand.
Well, Jack, you can be honest with me. Come on, I'll take you down to the market and buy you enough food to last for 2 months.
Bob, I'm trying to tell you that... What'd you say? Huh?
Well, I said that I'd take you down to the market and buy you enough food for 2 months.
Jack, come on in. Your breakfast is ready.
You eat it. Bob and I are going shopping.
Hey, now, wait a minute. You mean you have food in the house and yet you were going to let me try to buy some for you?
Bob, I was just going to teach you a lesson for being so silly. Now, come on in the house.
Hello, Mr. Crosby.
Hello, Rochester. Hiya, Mary.
Hello, Bob.
Hiya, Bob.
Hiya, Dennis.
Sit down, kids. Mary, pour everybody some coffee. will you?
Okay.
There's someone at the back door. I'll answer.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, the man from the bakery shop, huh?
Yeah, I got the stuff that you ordered. Some donuts, some chocolate cake, some pastry, and a half a dozen cimarron rolls.
You still can't pronounce it, can you? Look, it isn't cimarron, it's cinnamon. Now, let me ask you something. Maybe this will help you pronounce it. How are these rolls made?
Well, you take some flour, sugar, eggs, and do you want to know all the ingredients?
Now, look, it isn't ingredients, it's ingredients. Yes, I want to know all of them, then.
Well, there's flour, sugar, eggs, shortening, and cinnamon.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Now, look, take your time. Think. Okay. Now, let me hear you say it.
Ingredients.
I don't mean ingredients. I'm trying to get you to say cimarron. I mean cinnamon.
Why don't you order something else? You drive me nuts.
All right, just give me my stuff. Thanks and goodbye.
Bye.
Jack, who is that?
Oh, that silly guy from the bakery. The fellow who insists upon saying cimarron rolls. Well, here you are, kid. You can have some of these with your coffee. They're nice and fresh.
Wait a minute, Jack. He's right.
What do you mean he's right?
Well, look at that label on this paper box. These are genuine Cimarron rolls, named after J.P. Cimarron, founder of the Cimarron Baking Company.
What?
These Cimarron rolls should not be confused with ordinary cinnamon rolls, which are made from entirely different ingredients.
Well, Jack, I guess that'll hold you.
Hold me nothing. That silly guy had that label printed himself just because he can't say cinnamon. He must be crazy.
Well, boss, there's one way of finding out.
How?
Ask him if he showers with a peeled potato.